Well, first of all, Minister for the Interior, I want to thank you for a few additional moments of your time. Um, I'm really surprised that you and your colleagues were willing to look at this digital casting system for us to mint our own coins with so early, realizing that having just gone through a fiscal budget situation and that being a several month endeavor, um, to even consider it so late in the process, I was very surprised. But moving beyond that now, having honed down to two primary units that we could use, I am more drawn towards the digital casting system, primarily for the induction methods. It allows you to refine and coin platinum, gold, and silver. Some of the units that were presented were primarily for gold, some for gold and platinum, but not necessarily for silver. Since we put all three into use, I would like to be able to do this in the most cost-effective fashion. And with that, I think that the digital casting system is probably the best way to go, unless the Imperial Research and Development Agency comes with a better idea. But that said, you were speaking earlier today about the three-phase electrical power dispersal, and it does have applications for us regarding, as you had indicated, the biodiesel processing refining operations. The Appleseed system that we do have, as I know you know, it doesn't need anything beyond single-phase power dispersal, but it only allows us to do up to 140 gallons a day. We're not exporting stuff like that, so we can get away with doing 35 gallons a batch and doing two batches a day as opposed to four if we so choose to. But I would rather us go ahead and proceed. We have enough of the experience under our belt now. I think we're ready to go with particular things and to take it out to the other city areas. But the three-phase power system that you're talking about will allow us to bifurcate our op center where we do this at to, I guess, do the coin minting on the one side and the biodiesel on a larger scale on the other. Now, depending on how things go, if you think that you're going to need more things, you have to let us know how to facilitate particular matters. But I'd like to see us get into sector command down in Atlantis with the biodiesel operation. I know it's going to be a little bit, we can get there, we're still delayed. I know down there they're very anxious for it. Apparently, we have potential for a much larger market there. There's folks there who have asked for our biodiesel operations to get going so they can make use of our service and our fuel, of course. And I look forward to being able to do that, but you know we got to do it the right way the first time around. I'm inclined to see how we do here in the capital city first to make sure that if there's any more additional things to learn, that we do learn them and make sure we can counter whatever potential hazards and problems can pop up. That said, once we do, and we can get the biodiesel happening in New Atlantis, we'll see about Al-Abamu and we'll see about Ta-Memfis. I don't know what order we're going to do that one in because we do want the command node for the biodiesel operations to be in the Al-Abamu as we're putting the food with operations command node in the Ta-Memfis. And while I was in the Ta-Memfis area, and you may have already been briefed on this, the regional ambassador commanding the South Central region here in the North-Amexem, the lower portion anyway, he spoke to the issue of he would like to see more equipment and material deployed into his city area. He specifically spoke to the issue of more power, and he said that he would like to be able to grow more food and a few more things there. And I did say to him uh, that it's been indicated that we would go with at least four panels down there for a solar power system. But my question to you is, I did say to him that six was not out of the question. My question to you is, based on what you want in terms of operations down there, what you think is best for the empire itself, um, are you comfortable with a six-panel operation down there with multiple battery system attached therein, or Do you think four should do the job and then perhaps a small diesel-powered generator, as has been suggested by at least one of your colleagues, and then go with the larger generators later? What do you think is appropriate?
Um, so far, I think it's better to go with the half and half situation, where we just do a smaller scale and basically complement that with the diesel generator.
I'm looking to get a few things in place to make sure that um, those power concerns are met, because I am well aware of the fact that we are burgeoning on the ground in the Ta-Memfis area, and because of the fact that the numbers there are starting to swell, the regional ambassador did express the concern that we need to be able to provide more material on the ground so that they can do the appropriate job of seeing after our nationals there. They know that they need to grow much more food than we do. They know that they need more power as a result of that. Plus, there's a few other things that we're looking to do there. They're looking uh, to distill and trade far more water than we're doing in other parts of the empire itself. We basically, as you know, we kept most of our water in-house. We haven't been looking to do any trade of the water just yet, but we knew that the time was going to come when we were going to need to have enough power generation to be able to process enough water so that we can be able to trade some of it. Well, apparently we've already reached that particular benchmark, and now there's folks who are calling for us to move that forward. So, with you having the registrar for business inside of our jurisdiction, inside of the Imperial Power and Industry Agency, we're going to have to step up a few things, because folks there have expressed an interest in establishing the business in our venue to, in fact, distribute distilled water. We'll talk about that in another time, but keep those things in mind as you decide how to do particular things, which type of diesel powered generator we're going to go with, whether it have 2 plugs, 3 or 4 plugs there on it, and all the other things that go into your planning. And um, I did tell them in the Ta-Memfis area that when the council convenes, we would gather. We didn't do that at the last gathering, but next time the imperial government does convene, I'm going to be moving on that particular agenda on the behalf of the nationals there in Ta-Memfis. So I'm going to have to ask you now to make sure that you're ready when the council convenes, so that we can look after those concerns for our nationals in the Ta-Memfis area and empire-wide for that matter as well. And with that, again, I want to thank you for a few additional moments of your time, so we can wrap this up, close out this session, and we can go ahead and break bread. So with that, to you and everyone else, I say peace and love, and Islam.
Islam.